Good afternoon, everyone. I think we're live now. My name is Marie from Fine & Country, and this is our Supporting Local series. And we're here with Samantha Cameron. She is a social media expert based in Northampton. She's also a networking queen, and she'll talk to you a bit more about that. So how are you all doing, Samantha, at home with COVID, with the kids? Because I know you do have more than just 2-3 kids, so it must be a bit crazy in the house.
Yeah, well, it is. We've now been home for 8 weeks, so we've kind of not really been out apart from like daily walks for that time. So this is kind of what life is like for us at the moment. Out of the 5 children, thankfully, I'm only homeschooling 2 of them, the 2 younger ones. The older 3, 2 of them are actually with partners because they wanted to be with them during lockdown, and the other one has literally just waiting on her GCSEs. So she's just trying to keep herself busy day in and day out. But I have to say, trying to run a business, have a home and homeschool 2 children that don't want to be homeschooled is very, very challenging indeed.
I can imagine. I've only got a toddler who's 4 and a baby, and at least the baby sleeps all day, but the toddler is driving me nuts. So I can't even imagine with more than one child who I need to take care of.
Yeah. I have to say, I absolutely Switch, iPad, and Disney Plus at the moment are my best friends. They're currently watching Ratatouille, and I have to tell them that if they are quiet as mice, or rats, as I should say, I've promised them popcorn, homemade popcorn after. So fingers crossed, we won't get interruptions or any play fights. Will be good.
If so, just keep the door closed and leave them.
Yeah, the door is closed, and I have a sign on my door that they know that when the door is closed, Mum's working. So they've done really. I have to say they've done really well over the last 8 weeks, because my kids are used to being outside. We spend a lot of time outside. We have a caravan, so we go away a lot. So they've been cooped up. Thankfully, we have a large house. We have a nice garden. We've got a beautiful country park, literally 100 yards down the road from us. So, but the fact that they're not seeing their friends, they're not seeing family, and they're not kind of having that busy lifestyle that we normally have, they've really adapted really well.
That's good. So tell me a little bit more about yourself, how you started your business, and the networking side as well, if you want.
Yeah, no worries. So I've been showing businesses how to grow their business on social media for over 4 years now. And I myself have built businesses through social media. So it was kind of one of those progression things that have happened. And then over the last 2.5 years, that's where because I was kind of freelancing before, I worked kind of on a freelance basis for a company, and they would kind of give me the training that I had to go and do. Then 2.5 years ago, I decided actually I could do this on my own. The funny thing is, when I first decided to go on my own, I didn't think there would be a need for it, because I just imagined there were loads of people doing what I was doing.
Okay.
And then my husband said to me, well, if you don't give it a go, you will never know. And I was a regular at networking events anyway. So I thought, well, while I'm at networking, why don't I just ask, put some feelers out and see what people think? And it was amazing how the response I got back, where people were literally saying, oh my God, yes, Sam, I need your help. That'd be brilliant if you could, help us with this and help us with that. So yeah, 2.5 years later, I've now, it is just me. I do work on my own. That's how I prefer to have it. It fits in with the children, and it fits in with my lifestyle. And well, I say lifestyle before pre-lockdown. So
you traveled a lot before pre-lockdown. So
yeah, we do. We go away a lot. We have 13 weeks away each year. So at the moment, having the time to look at building an agency, having staff work for me, it just isn't the right time. And one of our children, Bo, he's 10 in October. He has special needs. So at the moment, until he goes into secondary school, it's not a case of that I have to have special care for him. He's very, very independent. But from an educational point of view, we're currently going through his educational care plan. And anybody that's been there and done that, we've already done it, and we're now going through the second process for secondary school, and it is quite emotionally draining. So I needed to make sure that actually he's got, if I need to get him to an appointment or I need to do that, it was just a case of actually having to be able to drop everything at the, you know, a pin drop and just do what I need to do for him. So there will be a time when I will expand and, you know, take, because I know I can. It's and at the moment it's I just like the way that my business works for me. So from a point of view from the social media, yes, I'm a social media expert. I work on all social media platforms. Well, when I say all, the 67 social media platforms, not everybody uses all of them. It's mainly the major four, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And then I also do social media management. So I look after clients' social media for them, so they don't have to worry about it. They can just kind of get on with their day, get on with their business, and leave everything to me. But they've still got a social media presence, and they know that their social media voice is coming across in their business as well.
Yeah, that's, I mean, especially right now, it's so important. And this is what we were talking about with my colleagues. And this is before the market reopened yesterday. But some estate agents I've seen just posted on Facebook, you know, before the lockdown saying, okay, we're closed. We're going to be furloughed. We'll speak to you again when we're open. And I've seen that with other businesses as well, even hairdressers, whatever it is. And they've just died off the face of the earth, where when it reopens, who's going to go to them? People are going to forget about them. So I think it's so important right now, especially in lockdown. You have to be seen online every day. You just have to be, you know, visible to be remembered.
You do. And this, when we first went into lockdown, I've been offering support. I kind of did a tally up a couple of weeks ago, you know, and I've helped nearly 1,000 businesses during lockdown at the moment, where I've been offering them support, training. You know, I'm running free trainings, free tools, just to basically just ensure that they are online. And when we first went into lockdown, I spoke to a lot of people, especially in the beauty industry and photography industry, which you will relate to yourself, is they just kind of went, oh my God, we can't do anything. So what's the point of being on social media? And I said, look, this is more than likely going to be our lives for the next 2 to 3 months. And if you decide to then start being present and start to build your business in July, we all know it takes 3 months to really kind of structure and grow our clients. I said, then you're looking at December, then you're going to get the excuse of Christmas, then you're going to get into January and people will go, well, actually, I'm still paying for Christmas. Then you're in February, that might be the wrong season for you. And I said, and before long, you've lost a year in your business. I said, you really do need to kind of keep ahead of the game. And it's a little bit like having a plan B. Thankfully, I had a plan B in place, because I will be honest, and I'll hold my hands up, when we kind of, when we were told that's it, we can't go out, I had to cancel 3 months worth of my trainings that I had booked, both one-to-ones and group sessions. That was thousands and thousands of pounds worth of income that literally just went like that. And I just sat there and thought, what on earth am I going to do? How am I going to bring, you know, I've set myself goals for this year. And after I kind of sat and thought, hold on a minute, Sam, you've got your online training program that you've had, you know, you devised a year ago, utilize that. And that's what I pretty much did. That was it. Plan B went into action. And that's been so successful over the last 8 weeks that over the past couple of weeks, I'm now working on Plan C. Because for me, for safety for me and my family, I don't want to go out there until I know that I'm comfortable and they're comfortable. So I've got to look at ways of, okay, over the next 3 months, how am I going to train people? How can I bring more stuff, more training online? And that's what I'm currently working on at the moment. But it's amazing of how many people didn't have that plan B, or even thought that they could set their business online. And when I was talking to businesses and saying, right, well, have you thought about doing this, or what about doing that? It was like, no, I hadn't, but I don't think I could do that. And it was great to see businesses actually go, actually, I can do it this way. So there are certain industries you can't, but you've still got to have that presence, because if you don't have that presence, even if you've got loyal customers, you will just people will just forget you. But
even if you're an industry that doesn't have much to be able to do online, you can still post about relevant things happening in your community, you know, news or articles or this or that. It doesn't need to be related to you and your business, but just to be seen, to be helping others, to be online. That's the important part. And I mean, videos, again, just like we're doing now, so many people are scared about going live, doing videos. I don't like the way I sound or look. And you know what? You just have to get over that fear and just do it, because if you don't, again, your livelihood, your business relies upon it right now. So I think it's so important for people just to take the jump, get those videos done. Nobody cares if you stutter or you trip. It makes you human, and people actually relate to that.
They do, and I always say to people, you know, it's like Elsa says on Frozen, let it go, just embrace it, get the first one done. And there's a video on my YouTube channel which actually it's a 10-minute video where it shows you how to do, you know, the perfect live, the perfect video, because people do get scared of doing it, because you know, sometimes we don't like how we look on camera, we don't like the sound of our voice, or we don't actually just like talking to ourselves, because in effect that's what we are doing. But also there's so much that you can gain from it. I mean, I've been doing free training sessions in my group twice a week, but I could actually just sit here and go, well, why am I doing that? You know, I'm doing them for free. Why should I waste my time doing that? It's because I actually want to do them. And I'm, you know, I think there's only been once that I've missed one because I wasn't well, but every week religiously, they're on the same day, the same time. And, you know, I will be honest with you, I don't get hundreds and hundreds of people viewing the video, the trainings, but what I do get is I get quality people that actually want to benefit from using their social media, and they're taking these tips on board, and over these few months they're going to grow and grow and grow and work on baby steps with each little bit of their social media, so that they're helping grow their business in effect.
I think that's through kind of any industry, because we've seen it as well, where the numbers of people or buyers wanting to look at properties did drop, but the amount of people who were still there were serious buyers. And like you, the people who aren't going to actually implement what you're saying, they're not going to take the time. They're going to be watching Netflix and do all that. But the people who actually seriously want to help their business and, you know, get better with social media, they'll listen. And those are the people you want to target anyways, because they're serious about, you know, getting their business seen online.
And I think it's about doing it the right way. I think that social media scares people. I'm talking to somebody yesterday, and she just said, you know, she's trying, but she feels that she's getting things wrong. And I kind of always say that social media is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. It's a big, massive picture, but there's lots of little pieces that you have to do to actually get that bigger picture. And this is why all of my training helps you actually put all those little bits together, because when you think about it, you've got your content. How do you lay that content out? What images do you use? When do you post? Do I use hashtags? Do I put emojis in? You know, how do I follow people? And when you start actually saying to people, right, these are all the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis, it just frightens the life out of it. But if you break it down, and because I teach and coach in a very, very simple way, and also it's a way that people can go, oh, do you know what, I actually can do that. That can take me, I can boil the kettle and I can do that. So it's about simple tasks, simple techniques and tips, but it's going to get you those effective results, which is what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So how was business before lockdown? Because like you said, you had lots of training days and all that. And how's it changed with lockdown? What have you had to do to adapt?
Okay, so before, life is always busy in the Cameron household. So school runs and, you know, after school activities. And then I do a lot of networking during the day. So it's fitting clients in around the children, networking, and then the trainings as well. So business was very, very busy. I would actually say that business is just as busy now as what it was before lockdown. But I think what I'm actually finding is, and I'm actually quite surprised, is I'm getting time back. So I'm still networking. So I would on average do between 12 and 15 networking events a month. At the moment, I'm only doing 5, and they're my busy women networking that I do. And the reason for that is, if I wanted to, I could mostly network 4 times a day. There's so much networking out there at the moment, free networking, you know, paid networking. But the problem I've got is I've got to have that balance. And unless I turn around and say to children, right, you sit on your iPads all day while mummy networks. And I think also being online and being stuck in your office isn't good for you. So I've kind of had to balance out my day. So, you know, mornings are spent homeschooling now. Then I'm doing my 5 Busy Women networking, which has actually been perfect for me. It's been a good balance. But then I've got clients that actually want to do one-to-one trainings, so I'm then fitting those in as well. I've got the lives that I'm doing in my group from a training perspective. And then I'm being asked to actually join other networking events to speak and present on those as well. So to be fair, I look forward to the weekend, because I don't work weekends, and I actually look forward to the weekends at the moment and kind of go, oh, right, okay. So I would actually say life is busier now than what it was lockdown.
Okay.
But I'm getting time back because I'm not traveling to networking. Networking is pretty much 2 hours, whereas normally you'd have a few, 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after the traveling time. So yeah, it's getting time back, but it's also making I've actually realized that I've got time for me as well.
Yeah.
And just switching off. And I think that's really important, because when you're at home, you can't, when you're not going out, you've got to make sure that you do have that balance. Definitely.
So do you find that there's actually more people who have reached out to you now that they're on lockdown and they're realizing, I need to fix my social media?
Yeah, I mean, last week was absolutely crazy. I had 4 inquiries last week from corporate clients who I've never spoken to before, who literally were asking for LinkedIn training with employees from 35 employees up to 520 employees. Wow. Because they've realised that, yes, their staff are working from home, but they're mostly going to be working for, I mean, my husband, he works in an office in Milton Keynes, and he's pretty much said we're going to be working from home till January. Yeah. So I think a lot of businesses have realised that their sales guys aren't going to be able to go out. They need to use LinkedIn. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, last week was incredibly busy with people contacting me. But at the same time, what I really noticed as well is, yes, I'm on social media a lot because I practice what I preach. But people that were coming to me, I actually wasn't connected with on LinkedIn. They were searching and finding me through Google. So in a way, it kind of made me, and I know my social media is top, on top form for what I need it to be, but it's nice when you know that people are coming to you and they're telling you that you're doing the right thing as well, because it just gives you that reassurance. So yes, more people are realizing that they need to be on social media. And I think what's happened is all the platforms had a surge in users. So new people signing up for different platforms they weren't using, more people that were users but had kind of not used their accounts for a few months starting to reactivate. But I think people have kind of gone on and they're using it and then realised, actually, I don't think I'm using it in the right way. So I just need, to make sure that I am. And this is what I always say about any training. And I do exactly the same. If I want to learn something, I will do a training on it. I've done Canva training. I did MailChimp training, because they're systems that I use. And I'm happy with them, but I will always go and see the expert or the professional to tell me whether I'm doing it right or not. And that's the way I see my training. Even if you think you're an expert, or you think you're good at your social media, you should always speak or do some training from a social media expert, whether it's me or someone else, just to make sure you are getting it right, because you'll always learn something. Every day's a school day, and that one thing you could learn could make a massive difference.
I think also the algorithms always change, which is really frustrating with Facebook especially. So it's nice to have somebody who actually knows, exactly what's happening in those areas. But also things like, and I've told my colleagues as well, and I see it still all the time through every business, people sharing from LinkedIn straight to Facebook, their posts, or Instagram, straight to Facebook. And all these things that you don't realize are just killing your organic reach. These are the things that you need to learn so that you create your posts organically, you get the reach, because you could spend hours and hours on social media, but if you're not doing it properly to the algorithm, it's pointless. So it's great to get these tips from you.
Yeah, and this is what I often say to people, this is why a lot of people don't. There's a couple of reasons why people give up on social media. One, for that reason, because they think they're doing it in the right way, but actually they're not. They don't get the interaction and the engagement, so they go, well, what's the point in doing that? The other thing is as well, it's distractions. So they will put something on social media. They'll find that because they've posted, that then scrolling through, spend a lot of time on there, and then realise that they're not getting the things done that they need to. And they get frustrated. And the thing they're actually blaming is the fact that their social media is not working for them. And it is just about saving time and making sure you're doing the things you need to do, which are going to get the results that you need in the end as well. I mean, yesterday, I put a post out. Yesterday it went out on my business page, and today it went on my personal timeline about people being, leaving reviews on people's business pages. If you're doing it on a mobile, they're not working. But Facebook have not announced anything. So it's such a shame, because when you get somebody leaving a review for you, if it doesn't go on your business page, it's really embarrassing. Well, you feel embarrassed to kind of say, I'm sorry, but that didn't go on. Could you do it again? And they're like, no, I did it. I haven't got, are you going to get that person to do it again? So it's just these little things that I'm always, one step ahead of what's going on and letting people know. And I get messages all the time from people saying, oh, this isn't working, or that's not working. And I do wonder sometimes if people think I work at head office. But normally I can say, well, actually, if you do this or you do that, that's going to resolve the situation. But yeah, you cannot keep up with the algorithms, because they're changing all the time. And at the moment, they're changing more than ever, because usage is up. People are posting more, people are commenting more. And at the moment, we're kind of going like that. We'll start to see a dip, and then it will go back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. So if any businesses that are listening to this want to get some free training, because I know you're doing some afternoon free trainings in your group, what classes do you have online, either paid or free, that you're offering right now?
So a couple of things that I do have. So if you go to my Facebook business page, you can find my group. My group is a social media support group. It's free. I run trainings in there twice a week, and there's also top tips, and anything new that's going on in the social media world will go in there. So you can go into that, no problems at all. Then I've got my online training program. It's 10 modules. They're all pre-recorded. So the great thing is you can go through them when you want to. It's not me saying, right, you've got to do it this time, or this has to be done by then. I've had some people that have, purchased it 2 weeks ago and have just started it now. That's currently $9.99. So for just under a tenner, that will give you everything you need to know. It's roughly around £400 worth of training. So it's really, really good value. There is my free social media content planner up until the end of this year. So if you do want a copy of that, as well as a training on how to put your content together, please get in touch and I'll email that over to you. And also the other thing, I've put together a charity social media support pack. So currently over 400 of those have gone out to charities throughout the UK. But there's support packs, basically training and things that charities can use to help them focus on getting their businesses online on social media, because there's so much charities can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the moment. And then if anybody kind of wants something a little bit more personal, yes, I am doing one-to-one sessions. They can be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever someone needs. What I normally say to somebody is, let me know what you kind of want to get out of the training, and then I can come back to you and say, well, this is how long I think it would be. So to give you an example, I had someone contact me and she said, right, I really want to get to grips with Facebook and Instagram. So we did a 2-hour session. The session actually was 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I charged her just for the 2 hours. But I will always make sure that people get out of the training what they need to get out. I won't turn around to someone and say, right, that's it, your hour's up. So it's down to me to establish that. So I do those. Or if you work for a large company and you want a large group session, I'm running those as well. And they're all recorded. So the great thing is you can kind of watch them back. But it doesn't stop there. Whatever package or whatever support you get from me, whether it's free or whether it's something you paid for, I'm there as well. So if you like my $9.99 offer, I've had somebody that's going through it at the moment, and every time she does a module, she'll send me a list of questions. And I will answer those questions for her, no problem at all. So if you think, for £10, for under £10, for all this training, plus she knows that she can message me and I'll come back. But you know that as well. You know.
I know. I'm always messaging you, asking questions. But that's great because, like you said, for under £10, I mean, the amount of money I've spent on Amazon right now is probably more than I've ever done before, because you're bored, you're looking at stuff. Oh, this could do in the house. Oh, I could do this for Amelia. And I mean, for a tenner, it's definitely worth getting your social media up to par and helping you through the lockdown. So I'll put all the links in the description with all of your different offers, your group, all of that as well. And then there's one last thing that I know tomorrow you have there's a free business training event tomorrow, isn't there? And then you're one of the speakers.
Yeah. So Ignite Business online event is tomorrow. Starts doors open at 9:30. First speaker is at 10 o'clock. And then we have Joe, who's a photographer, talking about how to take the perfect photograph outside on your own. We have Trudy, who designs logos. We then have Lisa, who does business planning. And then that takes us up to 12 o'clock. Then we restart the afternoon session at 2 with myself, and I'll be doing a social media training. And then we have Emma, who is a PR expert, and then we've got Marie Louise, who is a Canva expert. And that takes us up to 4 o'clock. Now, if you attend any of the Ignite days pre-lockdown, tickets are normally £125. So I believe tomorrow's event is free. We've all donated our time. We've got over 100 businesses already signed up to join us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and we haven't even opened the doors. They're literally people that have contacted us through email. We haven't even put the links out yet because of Zoom security. So if you do want to get involved, there's a group you can join that you can add, and then you can pretty much join that tomorrow live anyway.
Perfect. I'll put a link to that as well. But I do know, I've never actually been to one of the Ignites, but I've always wanted to. It just never fell on the right day with childcare or this or that. But I do know that they are expensive tickets because you get a lot out of those days and people rave about them. I know that I think this is the 4th or 5th one, isn't it?
This will be the first online one, but
in general.
In fact, I think this is going to be the 4th one, because unfortunately the 4th one had to be postponed to later in the year. But they're great days. I've been to 3 of them. I didn't do the last one, but I've been to 3 of them. I've been a speaker at one of them as well. And quality of speakers tomorrow, of what they're kind of going through, the information you're going to get is going to help you kind of, even if you've started putting your business online, it's just going to help you do it even more, and help you understand the fundamental things just to get you through the next few months or until the end of the year, or however long this could possibly be. So I mean,
in all honesty, even if the lockdown were to lift in a month, the virtual services for everyone is going to be there for a long time, because when you think about it, social distancing measures are going to be here for the next few years. It's not something that's just going to go away. So a lot of people might choose to do online business instead of in person because it's easier with social distancing. So I think if you can set yourself up and your business up now for online workshops, for anything like that, you're setting yourself up for the next few years as well, which is great.
Yeah, and it gets you into the practice of doing things. I mean, when I created my online training last year, it was just to basically offer a service for people that could never get to my trainings, based in Northampton. That was the whole point of doing it. When people inquired about my training, I could say, well, actually, if you can't make it to these, I do have this alternative, because I've got clients in America, Australia, and Dubai. But I'm so grateful that I had that in place, because I was then able to kind of go, do you know what? I've now got this that I can help people with. And, and like you said before, for less than a tenner. And I've actually said to a couple, because one person said to me, oh, is it worth me doing it? And I said, well, if you haven't got the £10, I'll give, if you're struggling that financially, I will give you the course for free. However, if you feel that you don't get the value out of that, I'll give you 20 quid back. If you come and say you didn't learn anything from that training, or you didn't get on with it, I'll give you your money back. And I think it's just ensuring that actually, yes, do you know what, you're gonna learn so much from it as well.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So do you have some top tips for business people right now to use online services, or to use like Facebook, Instagram, all that properly? Any good tips?
Yeah. So the thing I will say is make sure that all of your profiles tell people exactly what it is that you do, because your profile is your shop window, and you've literally got 3 seconds. That's all our attention span is when we come to looking at social media platforms. So make sure your profile actually show people and tell people what it is that you do. Make sure your banners are fresh, your profile pictures are, and also all your headlines in your bios. And it's a really good opportunity to kind of look at all of these right now as well. My second tip is be consistent with your social media. So if you are, ideally you should be on your social media every single day. That's posting daily, interacting daily. But if you can't do that, think about baby steps of, okay, so I'll post twice a week this week, then I'll move up to 3, then 4, then 5.
Yeah.
The worst thing that you can do is go, well, guns are blazing, and go, right, I'm going to do full on 7 posts. I'm going to interact here. I'm going to be on this one. I'm going to be on that one. And then what happens is after 2 weeks, you've exhausted yourself, that you just never go back to it. So think about gradually. And that's the same with using platforms. If you only are using Facebook at the moment, be comfortable with using Facebook and get into a habit of using that regularly. Then introduce something else, and then something else. Just because, I coach on all 4 major platforms doesn't mean you have to use all 4. But if you implement the things that I coach people, using 4 platforms is if you're using one, integrating the other 3 is really easy, but you've got to build those foundations. And I think my last tip would be, especially during lockdown, be careful what you do share. Careful of fake news. If it's come from the Sun, the Mirror, or the Daily Mail, it's more than likely fake. Twitter have an amazing page all on COVID-19, both for the UK and global. And it's all been verified. It's all information that is correct from all the local governments, the World Health Organization. So if you want to share something, make sure you take it from that, because I think press and social media have really, in a way, kind of had a blown out of proportion effect, and it's caused a few issues. And I've seen some people that I'm connected with where they're sharing fake news over and over and over again, and it can be damaging, really damaging to your business. So make sure what you're putting out is positive. It isn't fake news, and be you. Just be you. Show people who you are, because people buy people.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Sam, for coming on. And if anybody has any questions for her, I will put all the links to contact her, all of her website, everything on the description, and you can contact her that way. And for those of you who aren't in the group on her Facebook page, definitely join that. I mean, free tips, free training a few times a week. It'll definitely help you with your business. So thank you, Sam. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for our next episode of Supporting Local.
See you later, guys.
Bye.